what's up? This is your boy, No Chill Gil, doing a reaction video on a dude by the name of Bob. Robert Ory. Big shot Bob. He had some things to say about me, and he was just flat out wrong. So let's hear what Bob had to say. Let's go. All right, Bobby. It's Bob. It's not Bobby. You know what I mean? His mama named him Bob. I'm gonna call him Robert.
All right, so Gilbert Arenas called out Team USA this week, and there's a couple things here. They're competing in the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Indonesia. Gilbert didn't like the roster. He said, quote, "You see what Steve Kerr got? A sorry-ass group. Some of them probably don't even start for their own team." I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, means you're on the opposite side of what I said, which I said some of them do not start. Some, more than two, which means anything that's 3 or 4. So there's 12 players. So if 3 or more don't start, that is some. Some of them don't start, right? If I said a couple, then it'd just be 2 players. But I said some, which means 3 or more do not start on this team. And you said you don't think that's necessarily true. Now you're about to name this team. Let's hear it.
The lineup right now: Paolo Banchero, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, Tiny Dog Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Bobby Portis, and Austin Reeves. I think almost all of them are starters.
Just 2.
I was going to say maybe 2 or 3.
He thinks most of all of them start. Most, yeah, that's the 8 that's left. There's only 12, so 4 don't start, 8 is left. 1/3 of the team don't fucking start. Bob, Robert, obviously he don't pay attention to. He said 2 because he only pays attention to certain. So he only thinks there's 2. There's 4. So obviously you can see these 2 are fucking off. But they want to react and respond to me. But they're off. I'm right. As so far, I am right so far. Right? 4 does not start. Bomb. 2 for 2. 3 makes it me right also. What school did you?
You know, he's almost won 6 Man a year, and I think Walker Kessler does he? I don't think he starts.
I don't think he starts either.
Nor Josh, nor Reeves. Hence, while I said some of them don't start. Actually, if there's 4 players on the roster that don't start on their NBA team, that will probably make this team the worst FIBA team put together in our U.S. history. Once they started using pros. Sure, I mean, it's not a bad. It's not bad. It's just not. It's not bad compared to who we're playing against, but consider that all the talent that we have in the NBA, this would be considered the worst team that we've ever put together. And when I say worst, I don't mean like Houston Rockets worst. I mean, didn't they lose to the select team? This is the same team that got blown out by the select team, correct? Okay, so let's try so you can understand how I think. When you take the individuals, the best player in the position is considered an A. The second best player would be considered a B, third C, fourth D, fifth F. So 5, if you're the 5th best player, you're an F. Anybody after that, just F. So 4 guys who don't start, automatic F, right? So we're gonna start the lineup with, we got 12 players, right? 1, 2, 3, so 4 of them already Fs. F, 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 right? Because they're not top 5 in their position. Now, is Paolo top 5 small forward power. No. Okay, so you'll be getting an F. Right? It's not has nothing to do with their talent, up and coming talent. We're just talking about today. Mikal Bridges, is he top 5 in small forwards? No, right? I mean, if you want to, so we can hear the names that's top 5, JT, KD, LeBron, Jalen Green, Kawhi, you know what I mean? Jimmy Butler, like Jimmy Butler can be considered an F compared to Kawhi, Jalen, LeBron, and KD, so we're going to say another F, right? Jalen Brunson, obviously F, right? Curry, Kyrie, Dame, you get it, right? F, right? Who do we have? Do we have Edwards? Who's probably better than him? We'll say shooting guard. We'll say PG, Devin Booker. So he's a C, right? C. Tyrese Adams, F, right? 4, F. Right, Josh, we already got him. Ingram, F, right? Right, Jaren Jack, what's it? Power forward, would you? Probably 2, 3, right? Maybe give him a C. Cam Johnson, right? F, right. So for the most part, we have 10 Fs, 2 Cs. When you put the picture together compared to the rest of the talent in our league, that's all I'm saying, right? When I say this is the worst lineup. So when you put the teams together, right, and you just say, oh, we're going to make a whole bunch of USA's teams, right? And you start off with the Curry and Dames and the John Morants and the Devin, you can build a whole bunch of teams before you get to this talent. Just so we understand.
By any shake.
It's, you got to think about this. It's FIBA. It's not
the Olympics.
Medal. It's not the Olympics, right, where guys like Steph and all those guys who probably come out and play. But I just think this is weird. My wife brought me. She put this on my radar. She brought this to my attention because he also said something about me this week. And you go through these periods where I think guys are just pissed off at the world for whatever it may be.
He used the angry black man tactic. I'm angry because I took $300 million over 7 rings and 56. Okay, I'm sorry, Bob. I'm sorry, Bob.
Gilbert at this point is just trying to get clicks, and my wife wanted me to respond to him what he said about
what
me.
Did he say about you?
I hear this.
When he came out and it was talking about whose career we talked about this, who career would you rather have?
Oh yeah.
James Harden to mine, and he went on to say, I didn't even read it. I told my wife I didn't want to hear it because
how can you even comment, brother? How can you even comment if you didn't read it? If you didn't read it, what are you commenting to? Is now going to be the question for me. If you didn't read it, and most likely your wife monologued and put her interpretation on it, you're not actually responding to me. You're responding to what your wife told you. Now you're going to repeat something that probably I didn't actually say.
I don't argue with idiots because the person on the outside don't know who the idiot is. So I don't want to hear it. And she was like, he said this, you should respond. I'm like, I give a 2 shits what he said about me, but it said something that I was basically a guy.
He used the word basically, right? Which means it's not accurate. Basically, like basically not a real fact. Like somebody said, how'd you do? That kind of, basically it was, you start using shit like that. So obviously he's already lying.
Guy who just, rode coattails of every team I was on to win
that's
championship.
Bullshit.
Thank you, white man. That's bullshit. He knows I didn't say that. See, he got called out by his own host. That's bullshit. Thank you, white man. Let's hear him say it again.
Guy who just, rode coattails of every team I was on to win championship.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit. I did not say this. I did not say he was hanging on other people's coattails. Like, He's projecting. You're projecting Bob. Bob, Big Shot Bob. I mean, that could be great basketball name or like straight porn title. Big Shot Bob does it again. No, seriously.
And so I just, for me, I say everybody can have their opinion. That would make America so great. You can have your own opinion, even though it's, is what it is. So I don't care.
I'm not even going to mention the fact that he called me an idiot.
Gilbert Arenas is on one this month. So he's asking me multiple
torn up.
He's right. I'm on one. I'm on fire. Right? I'm like burning. My shit is gold. My shit is on fire right now. Right? I'm up in the dude. I got ESPN. I got the Herd. I got everybody hitting me. Can I use your take? Can I use your take? I'm sorry. I'm getting to the stories, Bob. I'm sorry, my man. I will teach you this. This trick of mine. But you got to wait your turn.
Torn up. He is turned up this month because I've seen his name pop up like 5 different places in the last 3 weeks.
He's whatever the hot topic is, he has something to say negative about it. He's trying to become the villain or something. I don't know what he's doing. I have no beef with Gil.
What do you mean villain? What do you mean negative take? It's the same thing you're doing. It's a sports show, right? You got a sports podcast, right? Then so if you have a topic, you're going to be on one side or the other, right? That's it, right? You Dwayne Wade, I seen some of your takes. Dwayne Wade or, Paul Pierce. I guess the one you say is better than the other one, the other's going to say, oh, that's a negative take. You the villain, I guess.
I hope Agent Orange has the best ever. I hope he gets into the Hall of Fame. I hope he wins a championship. I hope all these things.
See my black man. You see what kind of sly shit he do? But he know damn well I can't win no championship. God damn it, I'm 41. I'm old as fuck. I'm with you, man. We retire. I've never seen a retired man win a championship from his motherfucking couch, Bob. Okay? God, you ain't gonna win 8 from that room right there. Just like I'm not gonna win 1. We both know neither one of us is getting in the Hall of Fame. I actually have a better chance than you.
I don't think he's getting into the Hall of Fame, bro. I think he ain't getting into the Hall of Fame, dog. He didn't do enough.
Can't even get mad at him because he's right. He's right. They ain't fucking chance getting. I ain't getting in there. Bob just wanted to throw the. He just wanted to. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, but Arenas didn't do enough. He had a nice little stretch, but he didn't do enough to be a Hall of Famer.
I'm trying to take the higher road here.
No, you ain't take the high road now, Bob. You done took you done idiot. Pow. I hope he wins the championship. Pow. Like, come on, Bob, stop. I want to take the high road. Too late, you in the mud.
You are. I don't. You know what?
You in the clouds with the Hall of Fame. You can come down a bit.
Yeah, I hate people who pull out the "you rode someone else's coattails" line.
Yeah.
Thank you. You should hate Bob then. You should hate Robert because Robert made that up. You should hate him then because I never said that. You should hate him for saying that. So whatever you're about to say, it should be to Bob because I didn't say it. So, yeah.
That drives me crazy because he knows probably more than anybody. If you're on an NBA roster, you're not riding anybody's coattails. You got to earn your spot. NBA roster, coach, GM, they'll cut your ass, as you well know, in a heartbeat if you're not.
I mean, there's motherfuckers that you gotta clear. When Kobe do that shit right there, that mean I got y'all on my back. Just taking it from Kobe. So there's people riding on the shoulders of others, But I didn't say that's what Bob did. I did not. Bob B said that himself.
If you're not pulling your weight.
But it's not even that. Forget that. Ask your former teammates.
Right.
How many times has Shaq said it? How many times has Kobe said it? How many times have other teammates from other teams that you won titles on said it? That should end the conversation because outside of you personally saying it, the next best thing is people that you played with vouching for you.
The problem is they're having a whole conversation and validating stuff that has nothing to do with what I actually said. I just said, I'll rather take 300 million over 7 rings in 56 because, you can't, when you're done and you're trying to, start the second year of, your second career, right? Them rings don't do shit for your career. I mean, take Bob. right? Bob is a 7-time champion. 7-time champ, right? Let me show you how, like, what I kind of mean and kind of, it does it itself. Big Shot Bob has a podcast, right here, y'all, right? 7-time NBA champion. With a subscriber count of 2,000 people. His 7 rings got him a cool 2,000. You know what? Speaking of that, I'm going to give you a shout out, Bob, just so you can see how it works. I want everybody to subscribe to Big Shot Bob Podcast. You know, if you want to see what a 7-time NBA champion looks like, I need y'all to go subscribe to Big Shot Bob. Let him know who sent you. The dude, the idiot. Right? But that's, right now. You can't do nothing with those rings when you retire. They're meaningless. That's all I was saying. I'd rather take the 300 million because that 300 million can get me to do other things. Them 7 rings just sitting somewhere and behind Bob with the smiley afro. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I hate that Bob tried to get sympathy on something that I didn't even say.
So as long as they can vouch for you and say, nah, he was a key contributor to this thing.
No, he was. You're right. He was a key contributor. There was a play. I remember they were playing when he was with the Spurs, and they were playing the Suns, and he hip checked Steve Nash baseline. And then Amari and them all got upset and then tried to come on the court. Boom, boom. Suspension. Bob gets suspended too. But they didn't need Bob, but they really needed the other guys. So what Bob did, sacrifice himself to get other players off the court. Fucking brilliant. That's genius. That's IQ right there. See, I agree with you. See, that's why I would never have said that to Bob. See, Bob was projecting.
Hey,
that's why I told my wife wanted me to respond. I'm like, I'm not doing that, Candace. Just calm down. Everybody can have their own opinion.
But you're responding. Tell Candace you responded.
But I get it from her perspective. Yeah. It's like if you feel disrespected. And that's a very disrespectful thing to throw on somebody.
I don't feel disrespected. This is for me. I say, okay, this is coming from a guy who, he's mad at the world. Yeah. He didn't win a championship. He's never done anything but score a lot of points. He wasn't a defensive player.
Bona fide player though.
I'm mad at the world because I scored a lot of points and got a lot of money. All right. I don't know how that math worked in your brain before you said it, but I scored a lot of points, made a lot of money. 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA player, the cover of video games, got my own shoe line, just dropped again, got my own shows. What would I be mad at again, Bob? I don't mean to be rude, but my personal podcast room looks better than all 3 of y'all's together. I have 3 studios in the house. Bob, downstairs, it's better than ESPN studio. Most of the guys, there's a, writer strike. I'm hiring them. There's nothing to be. I mean, I can sponsor the big Bob. I mean, you're gonna have to get your numbers up. I mean, 2,000 subs for a 7-time NBA champion is ridiculously bad. I'm just saying that you look like you belong in the YouTube beef sector with those type of numbers, Bob.
Yeah, great player. That's what and when you get a nickname, to me, you've made it in this league. Agent Zero. So hey, I'm cool with it. He is. I have no beef with him. He's asked me multiple times to come on this podcast before this came out. I just hadn't had time to do it. So even now, if he asked me to come, if I had time, I would do it. So I got no beef with him.
You know what could be worse though?
What's that?
I always look at it like this. people could always not talk about you at all. There are guys who they've come and gone, and it's kind of they've gone into the abyss, and they've kind of just been forgotten. And if your name just kind of continues to circulate and it's in rotation, then
yeah, but I don't want to be like with you, like
here. Let's because I hear what he says. I was an NBA champ. Right, didn't get a chance to get that. I was a fan favorite. My shoes was second behind Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady. It was in front of Tim Duncan, who was a 5-time champ. It was in front of, Kevin Garnett, who was a champ too. So, I was popular. I was so popular that they re-released my shoes, and number 2 is now in front of number 1. So I'm more popular than T-Mac now, our shoes. They only was supposed to release 6, but they end up releasing 16. I don't know if you can see, those are the recreations on the wall right there. They re-released as the hottest thing moving in them AAU streets. I even got volleyball girls wearing it. You know what I mean? So I don't need clout. I am clout. That's why you're responding on your platform, so you can get the clicks and views. But I'm gonna help you get the clicks and views, because everybody, y'all need to sign up to Big Shot Bob podcast and tell them Gilbert sent you.
You have a very good reputation in the NBA. I think everybody we've ever had on this show genuinely loves you and respects you. I can't think of a guest we've had on here who's like, oh, I'm ready to pick a fight with Rob. Everybody that comes on is like, yo, and they it's that, keep your name out in that light.
Yeah.
You don't need to stoop to the depths of, I'm going to talk shit about Team USA, or I'm going to crap on somebody else's career.
Well, technically, I'm just giving, my take, just like you're giving your take on me, I'm an idiot, that's personal, so I'm just giving a take on the team itself. I don't know if y'all know the difference.
Just to keep my
this whole conversation right now is actually irrelevant, because both you guys were wrong, right? When I said that some of them don't start, I was right, because there was 4 players that didn't start, so I was right. And I didn't say what Bob said I said. So this whole conversation is actually meaningless. But carry on.
Name relevant. I don't like that.
Part of that is, even when it came to the Team USA, I can kind of understand.
Well, I brought it up just because we're talking about Team USA.
Yeah.
I got audio from Trae Young. I was just using Gilbert as a jumping off point, but it's like.
What do you mean you're using me as a jumping off point to talk about Trae Young, which is my show also. So you got soundbite from my show again. Okay. Do you?
I don't know, man.
Trae didn't make the team?
No, he did not.
He got cut or something? They didn't try.
I don't think he was invited to play. Now, he said he wanted. So here's the audio. This is Trae Young.
Do you want to play on that Olympic team? Have you given that some thought?
Man, obviously, I definitely want to. I've talked about playing on USA a couple times, so I definitely want to. It's up to them if they want me to. I would love to play with guys and show off my passing even more, and not have to go out and score a lot, and just be there if they need me to. So, I'd be happy to. Obviously, I'd love to play, but I respect the OGs and understand you gotta take your turn, but I believe I should be on.
So yeah, he just believes he should be on that team, and he should have been invited. He was not. You think Trae should be on that team with that roster I gave you a few minutes ago?
All right, I hope that wasn't the real question. Serious, listen, I know this is the FIBA team, but I'm pretty sure okay, let's try any FIBA player. Let's will Evan Mobley be a better fit on this team also than Kessler or Bam, right? You can go, Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, Klay Thompson, Devin Booker. I mean, guys that won't actually make the USA team, but Fox, Garland, Donovan Mitchell. She could even throw in John Morant, right? There's a whole bunch of C's and B's that would have been obviously Trae Young would have been better than what you got. Even though, from this team, maybe 3 players are on this team for the Olympic team. That lets you know how bad the team is. You might, Anthony Edwards, which they might bring him off the bench on that USA team. Jaren, and maybe you talk about 2 years from there, Paolo, for sure. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, would you take Trae or Josh Hart? That's the only person I could see him probably, and there's no disrespect with Josh. I think Josh is a better defender, but I think Trae is a better scorer. What is Team USA looking for? That's what you have to look about. Right. Like if you look you got a bunch of damn guards already on that team.
Yeah, you sure do.
And they're big.
No matter what you have on the team, if it's a tryout, then all these guards wouldn't be there because it would be better guards. I mean, you're looking at the roster now, and obviously it's 2 point guards, 2 shooting guards. 5 guards. So that's a Jalen point, 2, 2. Yeah. So it's, 2 point guards and 3 shooting guards is what you've got.
Big guards. And so, I think the smallest guard over there was Jalen Brunson, but he's still a big guard. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like he, but also he did say Olympic team, and this is not the Olympic team.
No, it's not. It's not. But
I'm pretty sure he would have loved to get some run out there on this team. I wonder if, there was this stretch, when it came down to Trae Young where, there were some people who he wasn't in the best light with a lot of people, with a lot of players around the league. And even maybe with some coaches. I wonder if when it comes down to this FIBA team and even the World Cup team, if that still has some lingering effect when it comes to maybe the way that he plays or how guys feel about the way that he plays or how coaches and executives see him around the league. And they know that he's a really great player. But what if they just don't see him as the type of player that they want to have on that? I think he should be on that team in some capacity, on both of them. But what if, you start looking at the players and what you need them to do and how they match up with some of these other countries. Maybe some of these coaches don't see him as a fit.
Then those coaches would be considered stupid. The reason is you, as a coach, you're going to assume that a player does not adapt, right, to better talent. You're assuming that what a player does on his team, right, he's going to do it on a team that's created full of monsters, right? Think about the All-Star game, right? I mean, how did the Joker play in the All-Star game? Right? How did, these guys play in the All-Star when they have all the talent, right? They're sacrificing for the game itself. So they're not going out there doing what they do. How did Michael Jordan play in the 92 Olympics? Was he Michael Jordan? Was he trying to average 5 points a game and do? No, he played basketball with the rest of the talent that was out there. So as a coach, if that's your thought process that, we don't know if he's going to fit, then you're a stupid coach because you're not even accepting the intelligence of a player adapting. When Kobe played, did Kobe become the Mamba? Or did he become a player that was bringing his talent to elevate everybody else? Was Kobe out there trying to score 81? mean, like you really have to invite the players and let the situation dictate it. Let them adjust. Let them figure it out. Where can they bring their greatness to help this team? Even said in this audio that, you know, it'd have been great to go out there and just set these guys up and do all this great passing. We have Big Shot Bob. How does he call himself Big Shot Bob? Right? The great players he played with believed in his talent to give. I'm pretty sure Big Shot Bob in high school was all everything. In college, this. But when he got to the pros, he adjusted his skill level to fit with these teams. And what he perfected, the Kobe's, the Shaqs, the Tim, they made sure to find the guy who they felt was cold as ice. And a compliment to Big Shot. He's only one of 4 players that's won 3 championships on 3 different teams. You know, it's him, LeBron, Danny Green, John Sally, which is, you know, remarkable feat, you know, just to be honest. Yeah, but it's a dumb thought on the coach if he assumes that a player is thinking he's going to come in and do this. Like, let the talent create what they're going to do, and stop assuming what's going to go on. Like, they assume that Anthony Edwards was Dwayne Wade and needed to come off the bench. Now, I need you to really process that information. Anthony Edwards coming off the bench because he reminded him of D Wade, right? The problem is when D Wade came off the bench, the team itself, Kobe Bryant, like LeBron, KD, like, you know what I mean? So he was behind Kobe Bryant. Right now you got to ask yourself, who the fuck, right? Think about Dwayne Wade. There's Kobe, LeBron, KD on the floor. You want Anthony Edwards to come off the bench to Austin Reeves, Josh, who the fuck knows? The best player, they got the fucking best player on this team. Obviously, you can see now once they realize, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe we were assuming. Now you can see he's by far the best player on this team, but they tried to bring him off the bench because of a fucking pre-notion thought that they had before the game started. And they got their ass whooped by a select team of misfits, and then they had to go back to the drawing board. So whatever they're thinking, they need to stop, because obviously they're not that fucking smart.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's the coach's choice, and this is who they want, and this is who they're going to invite. And I totally agree with you on that one, because, you know, when you're a villain, unless you're a Dennis Rodman, that's like really exceptional at a niche like rebounding, you know. So, because you're scoring wise, if you look at that team, there's a lot of dudes on that team who can score.
Who? I'm sorry, Big Shot Bob. We're just gonna do this real quick. A lot of players on this team that can score. All right. So on this team, let's see who the first best scorer is on this team. Oh. 33 points, 32, 31, Gil Christian, Jason Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Booker, Kyrie, Jalen Brown. Oh my God. Trae Young is the first best scorer. Ranked 14th in the NBA with 26 a game. 26 a game and 10 assists. So he is the guy who wants to be on the team. When you talk about scorers, he's the best scorer that will be on the team. Okay, next we'll come up to okay, then we got Brandon Ingram. Second. Anthony Edwards. Jalen Brunson. Right, and then I'm pretty sure, if you're coming off the bench, you ain't nowhere near the top 100. I'm just being honest with you, Bob. But, the guy, when you talk about a bunch of scorers, he's the best scorer out of this group. And the best assist person out of this group. So he's number one compared to this group. He's number one in both categories.
So now if he was a lockdown defender that was hated, he would be on this squad.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Very good.
So he has to be a specialist at defense to make this thing. How about a specialist shooter? How about a specialist passer, creator, shot maker, shot creator? No, defense.
Good point. And you're right. This is a very guard-heavy roster.
Mm-hmm. Whoa! It takes really good guard play to win in FIBA and in the Olympics. You got to have. You look at even the Redeem team.
You got to move that basketball.
Those guys who can handle the ball, who are very athletic and can set up offenses. That's why you've had USA be so successful in the last so many years.
So the guy who leads the league in assists, points, and pretty sure out of point guards getting to the free throw line. But but listen, the moral of the story is, Bob projected what he thought I said onto the big screen. I was correct where some of them don't start. And here's another video just to show you how irritated they are on something that wasn't actually said by me. Look at this. Look at that.
I didn't want to play this audio Tuesday. I don't even really want to play it now because it's Gilbert, and we had a whole conversation about, for some reason, Gilbert's trying to put his damn name everywhere, but this story was all over the...
Why y'all mad that I asked questions to basketball player? I'm sorry. No, lucky for me, asking the questions, you get to respond and get clicks and views. I don't know why y'all mad at me. Boy, they get offended quick. But listen, everybody go sign up to Big Shot Bob podcast, man. Right? I love my legends. I love, any athlete, ex-athlete that can talk the game, give back to the sport themselves, right? I encourage athletes podcasting. To be honest, it's saving lives, it's saving marriages, because this is where we get to really vent and get the things off our chest, because we don't have the locker room anymore. So, if you see on the show, I don't take none of this shit personal, because that's how the locker room set it in. So I don't take none of this personal, but yeah. Get it? Big Shot Bob podcast. Subscribe. You can see I'm subscribed. I'm following my guy. All right. Take care. Have fun. Ciao, ciao.